Hello dear students, today we are going to explain a grammar lesson for first preparatory stage. I want to ask you about these pictures. Here we have many different pictures for many different nouns in English. Of course you know all these things. Here we have bakeries, here we have vegetables, animals, fruit, dairy products, cheese, and people. When I want to count these things, when I want to speak about the quantity or the amount of the things, of the nouns, either for countable things and uncountable things. In English, we use something called the quantifiers. What is the quantifier? We will explain in details. Here we say that the quantifier is a word or a phrase, some words, which is used before a noun to indicate the amount or quantity, to speak about the amount or quantity. Quantifiers, because there are many words, so we make them in plural, so quantifiers can be used with both countable and uncountable nouns. For example, here we can see these three examples. There are some books on the desk. Here we have some is a quantifier, and desk and books here is a countable plural noun. He has only a few dollars. Dollars is money. We speak about a special currency and we put a few before it as a quantifier. There is little milk in the jar. Little also is a word that speaks about quantity and explain or mention the word milk, which is the noun I am referring to. What about much and many? What is the difference between the two words much and many? Here we have a common factor or something that is the same between much and many. Here we use much in statements, in sentences, in affirmative form, in questions, and in negation. In negation means the negative sentences. Also for many, we use it for statements, which is affirmative, for question and negations, which is the negative. But there are some differences as well. We have the difference, which is that we use much with uncountable noun that we cannot count in many amount, like we cannot make it plural. Also, many is different from much in that case because we use it with plural and countable nouns only. For example, in this question we can see, is there much sugar in the bag? Of course, the word sugar is an uncountable word. How many eggs are there? Eggs for sure is a plural countable noun because we can count and make it plural. Example 2, there isn't much milk left. Milk also is an uncountable word. And here this sentence is negative, so I can use much either in question, negative, or also positive sentences. Here we have the last sentence, she hasn't got many friends. Friends here are many people, so we can count people, so it's a countable noun. For that reason we used many. What about a few and a little? And the word few and the word little, because we have difference and this difference is very important. We use few with countable noun, also a few. Few and a few are used with countable nouns. What about the uncountable nouns? We use little and a little. Okay, what is the difference then? The difference is that few, not many, and not enough to use. When I speak about quantity, that is not many, and also it is not enough. What about a few? A few means that it's not many, but it's enough to be used. So I'm happy when there is a few amount, but I'm sad when it is few. So again, few and a few, we use them with the countable nouns. We use a few and few in affirmative sentences, in positive sentences. We use a few and few with plural and countable nouns only. For example, John has a few friends. A few friends here means that he has some friends and not many, but enough for his life. He is happy with this amount of friends. He doesn't need any more. In this part, we will see the uncountable words usage. We will use again with the uncountable nouns little and a little. Again, the same difference between little and a little. Little means not much and not enough. So I am very sad when I use the word little. But when I use a little, it means that the quantity or the amount that I have is very enough and sufficient for my needs. So I use not a little with the uncountable words, and it means that not much but enough for my sufficient. Okay, so we use a little and little in affirmative sentences. We use them also with the uncountable words, and this example will explain more. There is a little coffee in the pot. It means that there are some amount of coffee, but it's not much, but it is very enough to make a cup of coffee. And here is a diagram that explains more the difference. When I say a few or a little, I'm very happy because the amount is enough for my needs. When I say few or little, I'm very sad because it is not enough for my needs. Again, few and a few with countable nouns, I use them, and here little and a little with uncountable nouns. What is the difference between some and any? Here we have some. Some is generally used in positive sentences, and in positive sentences with what? With this example, we will explain it better. I asked her to lend me some money. So here money is an uncountable word, yes, but I can use some with it also with the countable nouns. So some can be used with both countable and uncountable nouns. In this case, I say that any is be used in negative sentences and questions. Any is used in negative sentences and questions. So I use some in the positive sentences, but I use any in negative and questions. Here we have an example. I haven't got any sisters. It means that I haven't got totally. Again, going back to some can be used anywhere in the sentence. I can start the sentence using some. I can say, some of my friends can speak English well. So I put it at the beginning. But it's very different with any. Any cannot be used at the beginning of the sentence. I cannot put a sentence starting it with any. Some is not generally used in question. As we said, we use any in question, but we use it only for offers and requests. When I say, for example, would you like some coffee? I here offer something to someone, so I can use some in this case. Here we say that any is used in questions. Are you allergic to any medicine? Okay, some can be used with both, again, countable and uncountable nouns. Any also can be used with both plural nouns, which is countable and uncountable nouns. We have some extra words in use for quantity. We have the word several and a few or few, many, a large or great or good number of. When I say few, many, we remember that they are speaking with the countable nouns. So all these words come with the countable nouns. So all these words are followed by countable nouns. For example, a few students passed the exam. It means that very few amount didn't pass the exam. Much, a little or little, a great or a good deal of, a large or a small number, amount of. When I see the word amount, it's different from the word number. So number I can count, but amount, it's not mentioned the number exactly. So it is uncountable word, of course. So much, little, and amount are uncountable expressions in quantifiers. For the example, there was little sugar left, and we mentioned before that little comes with the uncountable word sugar. All right, we have a lot of, lots of, hardly any, some, no, plenty of. We knew previously that some and any can be used with both, countable and uncountable. For sure, the rest of the word the same. So here we can say that all these words can be used with both the countables and uncountable nouns. For example, there is a lot of food left. I can say also, there is lots of food left. Or I can say, there is some food left. So I can use either any of these words. There are a lot of biscuits left. Here we see biscuits is countable and food is uncountable, and I use the same expression with both. Okay, to sum up, let us see the following diagram. Here we have the quantifiers. Some quantifiers are used with the uncountable nouns, some of them used with countable nouns, and some of them are used with both. Here we have the uncountable noun, much, a little, little, very little, a bit of, great deal of, a large amount of, a large quantity of. And with the countable nouns, we use a large number of, and again, number means that I can count them, many, several, a few, few, very few, a great number of, a majority of. And with both, we can use enough, all, more and most, less and least, no and none, a lot of, lots of, plenty of, not any, some, and any. Let's go to this exercise and see some sentences to answer together. The first one says, how much, many, any, some students are there in the class? Think for 5 minutes and then we will answer all together. Number 2, I have few or much or little or a little money. I can buy a villa. Number 3, few or a few or little or much people came to the theater, so the play was cancelled. It was delayed. Number 4, I only have few or a few, little or a little days left. I have no time at all. The sailors had much or little or a little or few water. It is enough for 2 days. The last one, the animals had much or little or a little or few water. They are going to die. Let's see the answers together. The first one we will say how many students, because students is plural countable word and this is a question. I have a little money. I can buy a villa, so the amount is enough to buy something. Number 3, few people came to the theater. It means that the amount is not enough, so we cancel the play. I only have few days left. It means that the days are not enough. I have no time. The sailors had a little water. It is enough for 2 days. So when I find it's enough, it means that the journey will be for 2 days, so it is good. So I used a little here. The animals had little water because it's not enough because they are going to die. Thank you for listening for this lesson and have a good day.